Hey, hi guys. I would like to welcome you again to Rescue Nation TV. We are here in the studio about to interview someone exciting that is trying to captivate the youth and young adult this time to get them into a new move of politics. I know we have a lot of discussions about how you feel about politics and the things that they say you can't mix religion and politics together, but I believe that we need to be educated even in the churches about politics. I'm going to introduce my co-host, man, Mr. Hernandes, PK. Happy to see you today, man.
What's going on, Elder Ward? And we are here talking about politics and religion, and we've got a great guest today in the person of State Representative Andrew Koenig from the 88th District. And we're going to be talking with him in just a moment about all of these great things that are going on in the Missouri area and what he's trying to do to help us. And hopefully we can help him with our vote. So what we're going to do right now is introduce you to Mr. Andrew Koenig. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Now, it says here that you're a state representative of the 88th District, and you ran unopposed in 2008.
Yeah, I did run unopposed in the general election. Mm-hmm. I did have a very heated three-way primary, and I was actually outspent 4-1 in that primary.
When you say outspent, what do you mean by outspent?
One of my opponents spent 4 times what I did.
Oh, yeah, the campaign, oh yeah. But you still won.
Yeah, it took a lot of door knocking is what it came down to.
So that's kind of what your strategy was, to be very grassroots, do a lot of door knocking and things like that. And what was your platform that you ran on?
Well, no new taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe life begins at conception, mm-hmm. and that was a top priority of mine. Mm-hmm. There's no question about it. If you look at ultrasounds and the technology, that life is in the womb. Yeah. And then property tax was a big issue. Illegal immigration. Mm-hmm. I believe that if we're going to let people in, they have to come in through the legally. Right. They shouldn't be breaking the law.
Absolutely.
Well, so you campaigned about taxes, some of the desires to limit real estate property taxes. So what are your views and your points about the real estate and the personal property taxes that other cities are doing or cutting away from? How can Missouri benefit from not having the taxes that other states are going away from?
Well, but like with real estate taxes, there's 2 different kinds of taxes. You have property tax, and then you also have real estate taxes. With real estate taxes, what we've seen assessments go through the roof. Oh, yeah. And the taxes are just being raised. So there's really 2 ways to address this problem: is make sure that if they do raise the value of the home through the assessment process, that they make sure the taxes don't go up, so they roll back the tax rates. Another way that we could address this problem is something that California has done, and that is if you buy a home, that your taxes can't go up above inflation.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So that way it's predictable. So that way, if you have elderly people who are on fixed incomes, that they're not being taxed out of their home.
Yeah, my major concern was that most of the time when the assessors do come out to look at your house, they don't know what you have done in the house. They don't know any updates or anything. They're just going off this general scale. Then they just give you this high fee, and your house could be tore up or in bad condition. And how can you tax me on something that you really doing an appraisal with a blinded eye? Mm-hmm. So I mean, what are they doing? I know I was looking on television once, and I think they changed something with one of the assessors or something like that. So what can they do to improve that with, because we're living in a time where money is low, people don't have the funds they used to have. So how can your constituents benefit from that?
Well, what they did is the assessor's office has and actually across the whole state, is an elected position except for in St. Louis County.
Wow.
So what they did last year is they changed it so it was elected, so that way there'd be more responsive to the people, mm-hmm. and hopefully get better customer service. So that way, if you had a bathroom that wasn't up to date or something, that they would be more responsive to you and they wouldn't jack up your assessment because of not knowing.
That's good stuff.
So we just elected the assessor in April. In the April election.
What's his name?
It's Jake Zimmerman.
Right. Now he ran against another guy, and they're all working together with this whole system. I remember I was looking at a news channel here in St. Louis, Missouri, and they said that he decided to work with the guy that he beat out. And I think that's a good thing. Would you do something like that, to work with a guy that you beat out to make sure that?
Yeah, I mean, if they have good ideas, mm-hmm. And they think there could be some benefit there, I think that'd be good.
Okay. Now that leads into another great question. Now, with you being a Republican, Do you feel comfortable going across the aisle, talking with Democrats, making bills and things like that? Because there seems to be a lot of division between the Republicans and Democrats right now. What's your position on bipartisanship?
Well, I mean, if there's an issue that you can get together along, I think that's a good thing. This year has actually probably been more bipartisan than in years past. We have the largest Republican majority in the history of the state, yet we also gave 2 chairmanships to Democrats.
Well, speaking of bills, Andrew, you was the co-sponsor of the Missouri House Bill 2449, which creates various crimes for trafficking, counseling, harboring, sheltering, and transporting illegal aliens. So how was it working on that bill, being a co-sponsor of that bill? How was it?
Well, I actually sit on that committee, and we did pass some stuff. Like, for instance, in that committee, one thing we did is when you take your driver's license test, you have to take it in English.
Right.
I mean, I think that's something that only makes sense. And along with that bill, I think they tweaked it, and what they did is if an officer arrests someone, they have to check their immigration status.
Wow.
And over the last couple of years, we have deported several hundred criminals that were illegals.
Really?
Right here in the Missouri area.
In Missouri.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard that crime rate has went up because of the illegal, we call them aliens, but I mean, they're still human.
Right. Right.
But crime has went up because of that, and now, I mean, I think now, are they considered the majority of the illegal aliens, or how's that working with the whole crime scheme of things with them being illegal?
Well, I know nationwide, I believe, over between 20 and 30% of the people in prison are illegals.
Wow.
I don't know the Missouri numbers,
Right.
but this law has certainly helped deport some of those, and so that they're just not filling up our prisons and costing us money.
Right, I have one more question. That you said that now it's more bipartisan with you working with the Republicans and the Democrats working together. Don't you think that that's creating more for people to become independent, seeing that it's not a Democratic thing, it's not a Republican thing, but just more independent to say, I'm just going to go with whoever at that time is fighting for what I need them to fight for?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of partisanship. We've just seen, I would say, with the new speaker we've had this year, he's been more bipartisan. Like on the budget, we've really worked with the Democrats, and the majority of them voted for the budget.
Cool. Great stuff.
Now, Shawn, you were just talking about Bill 2449. I want to talk about Bill 283. We get the bill numbers correct here. But you were the co-sponsor of that Missouri House bill, which requires proof of identity and U.S. citizenship for all presidential and vice presidential candidates. Now, this bill mirrors efforts in other states which were inspired by those who questioned the birthplace and citizenship of our President Obama. Now, can you tell us why you supported this bill?
Well, the person that actually is in my suite is the one that sponsored the bill. Okay. And I thought it was just good public policy to make sure that whoever runs vice president or whoever runs, that we know that they are a U.S. citizen.
Absolutely.
I have a question for you. So this is off of our notes. I like what the Republicans stand for. The Republican Party stand for. And you realize that the Republican Party doesn't really have a strong African American presence with African American groups. Am I right or wrong?
That's true.
So what can a Republican Party do to, and I think it's because of lack of education, because they think if I'm not mistaken, I think when the slaves was freed, it was because of Republican, correct? Right. So I think it's a lack of education. What could you do to kind of to build a bridge to where the Republicans and the African American community, the African American community can support the Republican Party more? Because there are some views that really benefit the African American community, but they just don't realize it. Right. So what can be done?
I mean, that's we do have someone run for president who's an African American.
Really?
Herman Cain.
On the Republican side?
On the Republican side.
Wow.
Has he announced his candidacy yet?
He was in the last debate.
He was, okay.
And that Fox put on actually the first one.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that one.
I think he's very impressive.
The funny thing is, I think we was at dinner at the time, and I said, in order for the Republican Party to win, they're going to have to come with an African-American Republican. Remember I said that?
Yeah.
And I didn't even know you said that, but I just believe that. I thought Colin Powell would have ran for president, but he kind of crossed over the bridge and went towards Obama. So, so I feel that with him running, that should raise a presence up in the African American community. Am I right? Or
Yeah, I would think so.
yeah, hope so. Yeah.
And he's a good charismatic speaker. I've heard him speak at a couple different events.
Cool. Now I want to ask you a question. So how is your life with Christ as far as being involved with the church as a Republican? How is your life? How has being a part of what you believe with God with Christ? How has that helped you in your position that you're in right now?
Well, what I look into is I always go back to kings when they talk about all the different kings, and I always have to just seek after God and say, at the end of my life, I want you to look down upon me and say you did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, and that is at the forefront of everything I do. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I obviously make mistakes.
Right, exactly.
But every bill I vote on, I want to make sure that I'm lining up with the Word of God.
With the Word of God, exactly. And that's the thing too, that I believe that we need more Christians in political offices.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need as many people as possible that have that mindset.
Yeah, because your morals will be different. The thing is that most people try to say that it's Christian morals. But if you look at the Word of God, it's not just Christian morals, it's just morals of life.
Right.
You don't want to hurt no one, you don't want to see no one be murdered or
Right.
steal from anyone. You want to respect everybody. That doesn't just sound like biblical morals, it just sounds like humanistic morals.
Right. That actually work. I mean, if you follow these things, you're probably going to be more successful and you're going to live a happier life.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. Well, while we're talking about your background, can you let us know what kind of led you into politics? Because I'm reading here on Wikipedia, because you got your own page, that you graduated from Marquette High School.
Right.
And of course, that's in Chesterfield, and you went to Lindenwood and majored in business administration and minored in philosophy. What was the thing that pushed you into politics?
Well, basically, when I was working through the days, I would hear a lot about politics. I was very in tune to it, and instead of just sitting and complaining about it, I was like, I'm actually going to act.
Yeah.
And so I decided to do that, and it was a 2-year election that I had to work really hard at.
Oh, yeah.
And God blessed me through the whole process.
Wow. So how long have you actually been in the political arena?
This is my 3rd year.
Okay.
And then I ran I ran for almost a full 2 years.
Okay.
Wow. So would you be running again? Or are you?
Yes, I'm.
Or you want to put your bid in right now for a senator on our
Right here in Rescue Nation exclusive.
Now, it says that you on your website, Coin Plans for Healthcare. What are your views on healthcare? Because I'm a strong advocate for healthcare and healthcare reform and all that stuff. So, what are your views on healthcare?
Well, I think what we need to do with healthcare is make sure that people have freedom to do what they want. Mm-hmm. I also think that if we treat it to bring down healthcare costs, we have to remove some of the barriers. Mm-hmm. And right now, the federal government says you cannot purchase across state lines.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to go purchase insurance in Utah, it's prohibited. And there's a direct correlation to the cost and the number of mandates.
Mm-hmm.
And like Utah has 23 mandates, Missouri has over 50.
Wow.
So if you remove those barriers, you'll create an environment where Missouri might lose tax revenues if they don't reduce their mandates to bring the cost down.
Wow.
I did not know that. So what is your plan specifically, or if it were up to you, what would be your plan to, along with the crossing state lines thing, what else would you do to help in that area? Because there's a lot of people that are concerned about it.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I think should be done is promoting HSAs.
Okay.
The problem is what we have is the consumer isn't the one actually paying for it.
Right.
So just take, for instance, car insurance.
Mm-hmm.
If we did car insurance the same way we did health insurance, car insurance would be a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if you paid getting an oil change, if you paid that through your insurance, the oil change might be $100.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because there's no benefit to the consumer to go out and try to find a good deal,
Right.
That's true.
and costs would skyrocket. And that's what we've seen in healthcare.
Now, even going from healthcare to education. Now, I was reading on your website that You want to lower college tuition and ensure that every Missouri student can afford a world-class higher education. What are your plans? Because I realize that if I'm not mistaken, you could tell I'm into politics because I'm hitting stuff that most people won't read about. I believe that they're trying to do away or lower the Pell Grant or something like that, or take away financial aid as well. Now, how by them taking that away, that put us in a bad state to where most people who can't afford the higher college education can't go to college. They might have the brain, but they don't have the money. And then the thing that is set up to where when you go to college, you're putting yourself in debt by taking out the loans and all these things, and then they try to roll it over to where I know someone that's $200,000 in debt right now with loans, and I wouldn't want to marry her. You get what I'm saying? So what would you do to make sure that won't happen to where it's really affecting the family, to where you might be a doctor and making good money, but you got that $200,000 debt, and then you can't provide for your family like you want to. So what are your plans for that?
Well, there's two things. There's one bill that I actually got passed out of the House this year, and I don't know if you're familiar with the 529 plans.
I heard of it.
So what this does is it expands your investment options and empowers the individual to do more. So that helps with the funding of the individual. It gives them more options. The second thing is more of a voucher system, so that way the money follows the student instead of just funneling money to these universities.
Right.
And then that way the student can go around and look for a better deal.
See, I would like Rescue Nation to know, the viewers and all to know, that talking to him is just not a African American thing.
Right.
It's just not a Caucasian thing. It's just a people situation that we're dealing with. And the fact that here we have someone that is willing to change or make a change for. Obama's not the only one that was talking about change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm against Obama or anything like that. I'm not against no politician, but I want a politician in office that is fighting for the people. You know, no matter where they are or what they're dealing with, that you're fighting for the people. And I believe that you're the type of person that any Democrat, independent, or whoever will vote for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're trying to make change, and that's a good thing. I'm excited about that. So,
Well, what else do you think that people need to know about what you do in politics? What do you think is the most misconcepted thing about politics in Missouri right now?
I think what happens a lot is people look to see what happens at the national level, and then they just kind of assume that the same things happen at the state level.
Yeah.
Where there are some differences, and that's probably the biggest misconception that people have.
Oh, sure.
Because they just tie the federal and the state together.
Absolutely. And then you got the pundits and the talking heads that are, saying this and that and the other, and especially what's been going on this week with the Republican candidates for president, and that's been kind of a circus.
yeah, talk about that. Talk about your boy Donald Trump.
Oh, Donald, man, come on.
Come on. Why would I want somebody in office who can't keep a wife? Went bankrupt several times. So you telling me that once you get in office, you're gonna divorce your wife, then you're gonna turn the White House into the Playboy Mansion, and then you're gonna deal with bankruptcy. I mean, come on, where's the morals at?
I kind of think that he just likes attention.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was actually serious about running or not. Based on his actions, I don't think he has a chance.
Oh no, he doesn't have a chance. No,
right.
no, even Satan wouldn't vote for him.
That's a good one.
Yeah, seriously, I just didn't understand his whole. What was his purpose of doing that? He felt that he did something great by getting President Obama, to release his birth certificate. But the thing is that why does that matter when we got issues here? I don't care if Obama was from whatever country he was from or where they say he's from, but he's trying to help the people, I feel. And I feel that if you even if it was a Republican and they wanted to see his birth certificate, why does that matter if he's trying to do what's right? Why don't you just try to? He could have took all that publicity that he had and just helped this African American guy or whoever that's trying to run for Republican office instead of him wasting everybody else's time.
Yeah, I think the big thing is he just likes attention. He wanted to be in front of the media a lot.
Oh, yeah.
He just wanted to fire the Congress.
Right. You're fired.
Yeah, man. So how does your family feel about you being in politics?
Well, my wife was a strong supporter, and she helped me knock doors, and I wouldn't be able to get it done without her. One thing that I did do is actually the first year is I actually took my family up to Jeff City with me.
Oh, wow.
And I do that every year, but I was the only one doing it at the time. Now there's with the big freshman class that we got. There was a lot of turnover. There was a few other people that did the same thing.
How do you manage? Because I was interested in running for a state rep in the area that our business is in. Now, well, one thing that turned me off was the fact that I would have to be gone like certain periods at a time from St. Louis, Missouri. And I love picking up my daughter from school. I love doing that. You know, I love going to baseball games and soccer games. So how do you manage that?
Well, we're really gone Monday through Thursday. So a lot of times we'll drive to Jeff City Sunday night, and we'll come back Thursday night. And, we homeschool, so that way my family can travel with me.
Oh, cool. Homeschool. So does the state pay for that, or is that just...
No, it's just extra added expense.
So you have two houses then? You have to have
we rent 6 months out of the year in Jeff City.
Oh, cool. So one more question. So if you had a young person that was interested in politics, wanted to get into politics and become a state rep or even a county councilman, what was the first step for them to start that road or to become a politician?
The first step would be just looking at your local leaders and talking to them, trying to get advice from them, and then just be willing to do the hard work and make sure you get started early, because if you haven't done it before, you're gonna need a learning curve.
Oh, yeah.
Right. How old were you when you first got into politics, if you don't mind me asking?
23.
23.
Wow.
Wow, 23.
You were motivated.
I was the young. My first 2 years, I was the youngest Republican.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And
Wow. And I feel that we need more African American Republicans running in these areas. Honestly, I think in the North County area right there, I forget what district it is. I think Juanita Walton has that district. Is she still she's still over there, right there by Castle Point, Moline Acres and things of that nature. That if they had a Republican or had a Republican in that area, that I think they would win. Would they come with the views? But I mean, I see more Democrats running in that area, and that's what discouraged me, because it seemed like in your more lower, I don't want to say lower class, but your more deprived areas, you have more Democrats running that area. Why is that?
I think some people just, on both sides, Republicans and Democrats, you have some people that just go towards a certain party, and they usually just stick to that party regardless of what happens for life. So I think that's what it comes down to.
Right, for life.
For life. So
Right.
I think that's what it comes down to.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, this is a great opportunity to talk to you, Representative Koenig, because you definitely opened my eyes. And before this interview, I was, primarily Democratic, but now I have more of an appreciation for what those Republicans have to do. Of course, we always have arguments about that. But what would you, and you already talked about what you would do to get into politics, but maybe someone has an idea of doing something more in their community, maybe outside the political realm. What would you say a regular person, regular Joe Schmo walking down the street, what can they do to help the government or state representatives like yourself to get kind of the things that you want to see happen for Missouri happen? Should we do more rallies? Should we do marches? I mean, where do we need to go?
Well, I think contacting your representatives and your aldermen and your mayor when issues come up is very effective. So just watch the issues and make sure you're staying in contact with them and let them know what you want.
All right.
So one more question. So now we're dealing with the state reps. They deal with a statewide policies, but dealing with I guess Charlie Dooley, the county councilman, what they deal with more of a municipality type of situation. Is that true?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. So most people that would probably want to deal with their own municipality area would be good to run for
alderman and mayor.
Okay. Good.
All right. Well, we're getting some great information about politics and what you can do in your own community. And Representative Koenig, how can we get in contact with you if we're having issues in our districts and things like that? How can we get in contact with your office?
Well, you can just go to the Missouri House website. It's www.house.mo.gov, or you can just Google Missouri House of Representatives and it'll come up. And then you can click on the members and just go underneath my name, Andrew Koenig, and all my information's there.
Listen, we are an interactive ministry. We want you to tune into, iTunes. We want you to go to Facebook. We want you to go to Twitter. Listen, we have a lot of things going on. Our website is an interactive website to where you can check out all the videos from Rescue Nation TV. You can also check out the radio podcasts. The Hernandes just was talking about that. We are trying to do a lot of things to get your attention. Listen, we're just looking on Facebook now as we look at our iPad to see all the questions that are coming up. You need to go on Facebook right now. Go to your iPad, listen, and tune in to Rescue Nation, man. And we're on Facebook. Listen, you can also go to your phone and hit us up. Go to your computer and hit us up and just ask us questions, things that you would like to hear on television, things that you want us to talk about right here on Rescue Nation TV, right here on Rescue Nation Radio. Just anything, any question you may have about Christ, about Rescue Nation, we want to answer your question. Please hit us up right now. Go to Facebook, Rescue Nation now.
All right.
Wonderful.
Well, Shawn?
Listen, we are here closing out today. We would like to thank State Representative Andrew Koenig for coming in today to talk with us and to lend us his ear and to educate us on how we can get more involved with the state and also in politics. Listen, I want you to go to your cell phone right now and text the word rescue to 313131. The word rescue to 313131. Also visit us on our webpage at www.iamrescuedonline.com. And listen, tell us your views, tell us anything that you would like to see on our TV show, and also you can also make charitable contributions to also State Representative's website as well. And then his website is www.electandrewkoening.com. And please visit his website. I'm sure he'll love the support, and we'll love the support as well. Listen, we also got something coming up to where Rescue Nation will be going to Israel. And if you want to make a contribution to Rescue Nation so we can go to Israel, we want to send about 8 people and 2 young people to Israel. Please support us in what we're trying to do. We're trying to change one generation, one day at a time. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to Rescue Nation. I'm your host, Shawn A. Ward, and this is Hernandes PK Union, and we want to say thank you. And remember that you are rescued one day at a time.